In 2010, David Fincher released his most critically acclaimed film to date, The Social Network. The film is a biographical drama that focuses on a young Mark Zuckerberg creating Facebook and the fallout between him and his former business partners. There's a large cast of characters here, and no one comes out completely unscathed. So today on 4Men TV, we are counting down the top 10 most evil characters in David Fincher's The Social Network.
You better lawyer up, asshole, because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
Eduardo is your typical spoiled rich kid who never had to work a day in his life, so he thinks nothing of it when Mark asks for $2,000 of his daddy's money. Then when Mark has the audacity to ask poor little Eddie to work for his cash, he throws a giant temper tantrum. Of course Mark would want to stop working with you. Why would anyone want to keep working with you? While Mark should be writing code in California, you should be writing down my order at Burger King. After Mark gets in trouble for his FaceMash website, two fellow Harvard students, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, express interest in partnering up with him to make a website of their own. Naturally, Mark ditches these two deadweights and makes the website by himself. This upsets Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here, and they seek to destroy Mark and his personal and professional reputation. This, of course, is total bullcrap. If the Winklevoss twins wanted to invent Facebook, they just would have invented Facebook!
Whoops. Broke a 335-year-old doorknob.
The way Mark intellectually destroys these two meatheads is music to my ears.
My colleagues and I are doing things that no one in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing. Did I adequately answer your condescending question?
It reminds me of my own experience going up against bullies in high school. Sheep, you can read this part.
Erica represents the lies and hatred of women. We start the movie with her immediately accosting Mark for not caring about their relationship because he feels he doesn't care about how he makes her feel.
You're gonna go through life thinking that girls don't like you because you're a nerd. And I want you to know from the bottom of my heart that that won't be true. It'll be because you're an asshole.
First off, bitch, if you only had an idea of what genius was going on through his head, you could understand why he seems so distant. After that, they break up, and he expresses how he feels in a blog that, while harsh, isn't wrong. After this, he goes on to make the greatest invention of the 21st century, which takes off overnight. He tries to make amends with her, out of the goodness of his heart, and she's just a total bitch to him.
The internet's not written in pencil, Mark, it's written in ink. And you published that Erica Albright was a bitch right before you made some ignorant crack about my family's name, my bra size, and then rated women based on their hotness.
Thankfully though, he uses his anger from this moment to take Facebook to even greater heights. Erica shows how women just can't understand the greatness they're witnessing and instead try to destroy it.
While Sean Parker aids Mark Zuckerberg in the film, one must not forget his cruel and unusual actions that occurred prior to the film. Worse than his rampant drug abuse and implied sexual activity with minors is his total assholery towards metal legend Lars Ulrich of Metallica.
Like the next day, it traces back to something called Napster, and we were like, well, if they fuck with us, we'll fuck with them. And
this guy revolutionized the entire genre, changing pop culture forever. And you have the audacity to take the man's art and profit off of it without his explicit permission? And the result of his actions directly led to an unfinished version of Ulrich's track being played on radios. Dude, it wasn't even finished yet, and you're gonna felicitate the illegal distribution of it? Fuck Eduardo, this is the true theft in the Social Network universe. And anyone that believes otherwise is just a shitty fucking person with no values whatsoever.
Mark Zuckerberg? Spittin' bars? I never thought I'd see the day.
If you thought Mark was undefeatable in the field of debate, you should see him in a rap battle. In the conclusion of the Lloyd cut of the film, we see disgraced SpaceX CEO Elon Musk's poor attempt to diss him in a rap battle. Mark is quick to serve him some harsh comebacks, however.
Sneak up on Zuck, I don't even fucking blink. I'm the CEO and knowing what you think. Hey.
Elon Musk makes the same mistake several characters on this list are guilty of, letting their own jealousy blind them into underestimating the Zuck. Zuckerberg sticks to the facts, schooling Musk in what is the most brutal diss track in hip-hop history since No Vaseline.
You need to start sleeping. We can all see you're tired. You're about to be CEO. Shit, he got fired.
To this day, the Elon Musk versus Mark Zuckerberg rap battle remains my favorite moment in not just film history, but black history as a whole.
With over 2 billion users, running Facebook isn't easy, and it's only natural that after a long, hard day of work, Zuckerberg just wants to enjoy some well-deserved relaxation time, one where he can forget all of his worries, relieve himself of the stress from the dimwits who ungratefully reside on his platform. Well, even though land rights in Hawaii are complex, things seemed perfect for Mark's personal sanctuary. That is, until a blemish began to emerge. Instead of escaping the struggles he faces every day on Facebook, the indigenous population of Hawaii decided to make his life even more of a living hell by residing in the beach designated as his sanctuary. If they truly cared about other people, they'd volunteer their land to the man who lets me message my grandma even after she's passed away.
In the extended cut of the film, Zuckerberg is pitted against his toughest battle yet, Congress. Congress is filled with a bunch of liars and manipulators who are only there to fulfill their own needs and wants. Zuckerberg was able to remain calm and collected as he plowed through each member of Congress, one by one.
I can't say that we've identified all of the foreign actors who are involved here, so I can't say that that's all of the money, but that is what we have identified.
Audience members were witness to Zuckerberg debating topics such as religion, philosophy, politics, and his use of the N-word in a private setting. This stream actually convinced me to write in Zuckerberg for the 2020 election. If everyone watching this video writes in, we can team up and take down Donald Trump.
Who knew that one of the greatest villains in the film would be the one behind the camera? David Fincher portrayed Zuckerberg so unflatteringly that to this day, many take his blatant falsifications and lies as facts.
And basically they frame it as if the whole reason for making Facebook and building something was because I wanted to get girls or wanted to get into some kind of social institution, right? Like, they just can't wrap their head around the idea that someone might build something because they like building things.
You're making a documentary, dude, not a fucking movie. Stop editorializing and show the facts. Sure, you included some moments of Mark being cool. I mean, you probably had to after realizing just how much cool footage there was of him. But did you really have to show his messy breakup with his girlfriend? Seems a bit personal, and a bit irrelevant to the creation of Facebook. David Fincher is not just a sociopath, but a pathological liar who cannot be trusted. The narrative building in this film is so dishonest that I'm willing to believe that anyone else he's made hit pieces on are innocent. And now, without further ado, the reveal of the biggest thorn in Mark's side.
For a so-called Man of Steel, you sure seem hell-bent on preventing humanity's technological progress.
Superman is good for one thing, though. He does help Zuckerberg kill all the Congress members in his universe, which is exactly what they deserve for messing with him for so long. Take that, AOC!
Fearing that Superman may accidentally destroy the Facebook headquarters, Mark decided to take action. He manipulated the Dark Knight himself, Batman, into fighting him to death. Unfortunately, those two stupid jocks decided to team up. Luckily, Mark had a backup plan.
Mark uses DNA he collected from himself and General Zod to genetically engineer a monster that kills Superman. You heard right. Mark Zuckerberg killed freaking Superman! He may have been the Man of Steel, but Mark will always have the mind of steel. As the film's slogan suggests, you don't get to 500 million friends without making a few enemies. But who knew so many of these enemies would be former friends, respected public figures, directors, an entire gender, and even superheroes? However, we here at 4Men TV have nothing but respect for such an influential figure in the tech industry. And while The Social Network isn't a perfect recounting of Facebook's history, it did do a great job showing the trials and tribulations a young prodigy has to go through in order to prove their worth.